What's going on, high flyers and Matt technicians? It's your boy, Earth Matt, the mad scientist. Welcome again to Turnbuckle Talk. Yes, Turnbuckle Talk. Shout out to my boy, the infamous Alvin Staley, in his absence, man. I am thoroughly excited because we got some wrestling news out here for you guys today. Some stuff that just hit the line like maybe an hour or so ago. We will address that. I know you saw the thumbnail. The thumbnail said Bandido is a Wrestler of the Year candidate. I am not lying about that. There's no bones about that. We will address that. His body of work, especially of this year, 2025. Like his body of work, what he's able to do in the ring, and also a potential match of the year as well. So definitely gonna look into that. Definitely gonna talk about Athena and the greatness of Athena. We also gonna talk about the greatness of Lee Moriarty. And also, we talking about the most recent news about AJ Lee at WrestlePalooza. We talking about that, what we're going to talk about, and how it's competing with AEW's All Out, because it's going to be an all-out, straight-up brawl between All Out and WrestlePalooza. So, you already know what to do. Hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell, and you do notification bell for all, okay? We cover nothing but pro wrestling content here at Turnbuckle Talk. Now, we are an affiliate of the Orange Phoenix Media channel. Now, if you do like comic books, if you do like anime and stuff of that nature, you definitely want to follow and subscribe to our Orange Phoenix Media channel. Shout out to our now 505 subscribers for that particular channel, man. But, man, we got a lot of good wrestling. A lot of good wrestling over the past 2 weeks, man. We talking Clash in Paris. Now, I will tell you straight out the gate. That I did not watch Clash in Paris. But I know about the happenings in Clash in Paris. Like, the main thing that actually happened in Clash in Paris. And I mean, now some people, like, poking fun at, like, a certain botch that happened, like a mistake that happened, like with the women's match between Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella. I mean, like, mistakes happen. Like, get off your high horse. Are you in the ring? Like, shut up. Like, come on now. But anyway, we are going to talk about Bandido, man. We got to talk about the main event first, man. You know, we got to start off hot, man. And the thing I want to talk about is the greatness of Bandido, man. Because Bandido is definitely Wrestler of the Year candidate. Now, at Death Before Dishonor, he was one of the main events, him and Hechicero, in a 30-plus minute clinic. Man, this man can do it all. He is a high flyer. He is a mat technician. He has a strength very much like Claudio Castagnoli. And he's also the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Champion, as well as the AEW Tag Team Champion, one half of the AEW Tag Team Champions between him and Brody King. So, man, I've noticed that his stock has been rising up there, and I apologize, Bandido. I was not familiar with your game. I can't say I was totally unfamiliar with your game, because I was definitely familiar with it to a certain extent. And, you know, I really wanted you to get away from, you know, the whole feud with Chris Jericho and all that other stuff, but that's neither here or there. And I've noticed that you have been on AEW television quite frequently and a lot. And that is before the injury, because you got to look at what he was able to do after his injury. This man had 2 surgeries on his wrist, and then he had a concussion he had to deal with. And then once he got over that, then he made it back to the ring, became the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Champion, and put Ring of Honor on his back, along with these 2 other individuals that I'm going to mention later on. But you got to understand that Bandido does belong as a Wrestler of the Year candidate. And you were like, but why is that? I'm going to highly encourage you to actually watch what he does in the ring. And it, like, the proof is in the pudding here. The proof is in the pudding as far as what he's able to do. Like, I watched that match twice. I watched Death Before Dishonor, like, live. Then I went back to watch it again. And I was like, man, it was something about this match, man. It was something he was able to do with this match. And honestly and truly, let's keep it a bean. With Death Before Dishonor, it was definitely a put together pay-per-view. Okay. Uh we did know that Bandido and Hechicero was going to meet. We did know that. We did know that Athena and Mina Shirakawa was going to meet. But as far as the rest of the card, though, we weren't really 100% on it. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I watch every single week of Ring of Honor, but, I mean, there was to the wire, you know what I'm saying? But to save that as a put-together show, they definitely put that show together. And the top 3 matches on the card, and Bandido is one of them. Bandido is one of them. And considering the fact and how well he's being treated in AEW, I know people compare him with the Lucha Brothers. Like, Bandido is one of his own. Like, he's a Lucha on his own. And Tony Khan, I think I can speak on behalf of all AEW fandom when I say, when that contract is close to its end, I'm going to need you to back up that Brinks truck and give him some more money. Pay that man. Pay that man to the point that he can renew his contract. Okay? Because you're going to need somebody like Bandido. Bandido is your future AEW world champion. Straight out the gate. Like there's no bones about it. No bones about it. There is your future AEW world champion. He is one of your future AEW world champions. I can see a fuse with Kyle Fletcher. I can see a fuse with Jon Moxley. I can see a fuse with Hangman Adam Page, which honestly and truly, considering what their characters are, really makes total sense. Honestly, being in the Continental Classic, yes, put him in the Continental Classic, show him off, like what he's able to do. Put him in that tournament and take care of him. Like, take care of him. But I think a lot of people has paid attention because it's been all over the internet. It's been all over Twitter as far as what he was able to do in that 30-plus minute match with Hechicero. And honestly, Hechicero is one of the best technical wrestlers out there. Like, this man will lock you up. You understand what I'm saying? He will lock you up. Any type of hold that he can put you in, he can put you in it. Like, if you land a certain way, he's going to put you in a certain hold. He's going to put you in a leg lock, or he's going to put you in a wrist lock, or the arm lock, or hurt your shoulders, or hurt your neck, or hurt your back, or hurt your hips. Somehow, or hurt your ankles. Somehow, some way, he's going to twist you up. He's going to twist you up. Pause. But, that's just what he is. Hechicero will get you at a disadvantage. So he's definitely one of the best technical wrestlers I've seen. I would love to see him and Zack Sabre Jr. go at it, because I feel like that's some technical wizardry that's going on right there. That is some great technical wrestling. And I do love match style wrestling. So to see this World Heavyweight Championship match between these two individuals, I'm like, man, I can see that again. Like, can y'all run that back? But don't run it back on Ring of Honor. Like, run it back on AEW. Like, run it back when Bandido have an AEW championship, or Hechicero have a AEW championship around his waist. Have something like that. But it's not enough I can say about Bandido, man, because honestly, he is quickly rising in popularity, especially in the pro wrestling spaces. Like, that just is no bones about that. Like, so do not be surprised if this man is a Wrestler of the Year candidate, or if he wins Wrestler of the Year. Like, just because, you see him on Ring of Honor mostly, or whatever the case may be, but you're going to see him on AEW television more now, considering the fact that he's one half of the tag team champions. But considering what he's able to do as a singles performer, and also as a tag team wrestler now, with somebody that he's very close to, the stock is going to continue to rise. The stock is going to continue to rise. So, future world champion right there. Future world champion. And I got a good feeling, and I'm on good authority to say he could make a good heel too. So it's layers. I feel like there's several layers to Bandido. Several layers to Bandido. Because if you are a heel wrestler, a heel Bandido, then your moveset's going to change a little bit. You're not going to be flying across the ring like that. You're definitely going to be trying to hurt somebody. That's what it is. But right now, he is definitely a fan favorite, man. He is quickly rising up the ranks. So my suggestion to him is when the Continental Classic, well, to Tony Khan, when the Continental Classic takes place, Bandido should be one of the names that should be in the Continental Classic because everybody needs to see this. Everybody needs to see this in full splendor. I'm not saying he should win the Continental Classic, but put people on game, though. You can definitely put people on game. Definitely put people on game. Now, the next wrestler I would definitely tell you about is Athena. Like, what can I say about Athena that hasn't been said like already? Like, she is one of the best women's wrestlers, like, period. Now, to be honest with you, I thought she was going to win the AEW Women's World Championship. I really thought she was going to do that. Considering the momentum that she has, the momentum that she had from AEW All In, and she's winning the contract in her hometown, well, her home state, stuff like that. So I really thought that was going to happen. Slightly disappointed in that. However, what I do not want to happen, what I don't want to happen is for her to be in a situation where she goes back to Ring of Honor and just stays back in Ring of Honor and we don't see her on TV like that. Like, that's criminal. That is absolutely, positively criminal. Like, we don't need that. We don't need that, okay? Like, she need to be on AEW TV. And considering the news that transpired, considering the news that took place about an hour ago, I got an idea for, Athena at this point. But she has defended her title 31 times. She has been Ring of Honor Women's Champion since 2022. She has beaten the likes of Vert Vixen, Willow Nightingale twice, Emi Sakura, Yuka Sakazaki, Billy Starks, Hikaru Shida, who is a former AEW Women's Champion, Queen Aminata, Billy Starks again, Red Velvet, Thunder Rosa, Alex Windsor, and Mina Shirakawa most recently. 31 title defenses. 31 title defenses. Oh, Mercedes Martinez, who the person that she beat to win the Ring of Honor Women's Champion. I don't know anybody that will beat her to be the Ring of Honor Women's Champion. I feel like if she become a champion in AEW, she's going to willingly drop that title. It's like, look, I've beaten everybody in Ring of Honor. I've done all that. Like, do like a heel type promo. I've beaten everybody. So, I accomplished my 1,000 days as Ring of Honor champion. So, do the thing like with Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe like, hey, man, I'm going to put this Ring of Honor TV title down. I'm going to keep this TNT title. Yes, I know I'm the king of television. I know that. Nobody able to beat me in Ring of Honor. I've beaten the whole entire roster. So, y'all have at it. But I'm going to go take my talents over to AEW and, do the heel thing. And maybe let Billy Starks be the one to end up being the Ring of Honor Women's Champion. Like, let her carry because that's a minion, right? So, just do it like that. Like, do it like that. But here's my idea. Considering the fact of what I'm going to talk about later is to compete with WrestlePalooza. I understand that Alex Windsor is most likely slated to face Mercedes Moné at All Out. And from what I understand, I don't think Tony Storm has an opponent for All Out. So I feel like what you could do is have a rematch between Athena and Tony Storm at All Out. But at the same time, have Athena actually win at All Out and become the AEW Women's Champion to put that down. So not only would you have Mercedes Moné and Alex Windsor, because you won't kick her out the spot, because a lot of people saying you need to put Athena versus Mercedes Moné to compete with WrestlePalooza or what's going on with WrestlePalooza. Okay, but you're not thinking about Alex Windsor. You know what I'm saying? You're not thinking about what she got going on. I mean, unless you interject some type of storyline where, Athena injures Alex Windsor and she interjects herself for Mercedes Moné, but still yet that don't make sense, considering the fact they just tagged together, even though they got this deal, even though Mercedes have openly stated, if you got a title around your waist, I want it, and I'm going to take it. So, and, there's some banter online, like on Twitter, between her and Mercedes, and I get that. But considering what's going on with WrestlePalooza, I wouldn't go into a panic. I would definitely do a rematch between Athena and Toni Storm and see where that takes you. She has 31 title defenses. Athena is definitely there. Now, I will put some type of stipulation in that between Athena and Toni. I would do that. I would add some type of stipulation. I'm not sure what type of stipulation would be. Maybe no holds barred. You know what I mean? And also, for my idea for Mercedes is, okay, if you beat Alice Windsor one-on-one, you debut another woman. Maybe Shayna Baszler. Maybe Shayna Baszler or Camille again, because, that it makes perfect sense, right? It makes perfect sense. But Athena, definitely Women's Wrestler of the Year candidate for sure, along with Mercedes Moné. Like, there's some people out here, like, especially with these two women, like, you just a Ring of Honor champion. Nobody watches Ring of Honor. People do watch Ring of Honor, man. Like, people are sickos out here, man. We love wrestling for the love of the game. You know what I'm saying? So, you got to put some respect on these two women, okay? You got to put some respect on their name. So, I would definitely add Athena to AEW All Out. Is definitely much needed. And honestly, to a point, like I say with Mercedes, you got people saying, well, she got 9 titles and like nobody know where these companies from or whatever the case may be. They're like, they got so much negativity to say about Mercedes Moné. But you know the companies now, don't you? Whether it's negative or positive, you know the companies though, don't you? Because if she beat these women for those said titles, at some point or another, those women in that same company is going to beat somebody of the caliber of Mercedes Moné. So you're going to have to tune in to actually watch her defend those titles. Wherever companies that she's went to and took those titles and won them, somebody's going to have to beat her. That's going to be must-watch TV. That's going to be must-watch. Whether it's going to be like a free pay-per-view of a YouTube channel or whatever the case may be, they're going to make airways. Who beat Mercedes Moné? Because on TV, she's beating people legitimately. People came so close, like very, very close, with the exception of Toni Storm. Very, very close of beating her. And she seems like such an unbeatable woman in the ring that for somebody to actually do it, it's going to mean something. It's going to mean something, especially at these smaller companies. It's going to mean something. You got to read the handwriting on the wall, man. There's a reason why she's wearing these belts. There's a reason why these belts are on TV. Because if they're on TV, it makes people think, what belts are those? Where they come from? Where they come from? That kind of thing. You got people that are like a niche audience. You got people that only watch NWA and don't watch AEW or don't watch WWE. You got people that only watch CMLL. There's people out here. You got people that only watch New Japan or All Japan Pro Wrestling. You catch what I'm saying? So just because you negative jackasses that's out there that got something stupid to say about how she got these 9 titles and how it don't mean nothing. Like, for the people that actually enjoying, and I say this on behalf of them, the people that are actually enjoying the fact that she has so many titles and she is representing so many companies, small, no matter how small it is, how medium it is, or how large it is, she's representing all of those titles, and she's taking every single one of those titles. And if she's on TV, guess what those titles are? On TV. So on behalf of the people that are actually enjoying Mercedes Moné run, kiss our ass. Let us enjoy some shit. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like it, don't watch the shit. Don't watch it. We ain't forcing you. Nobody twisting your arm unless you one of those negative podcasters that thrive on negativity, because honestly and truly, because when you really get to the nitty-gritty of it, the algorithm pushes negativity, and that's the only way you make money. So you feel like I gotta say this, but as you are saying this, you're inviting people that just love this kind of content because they don't want something stupid to say. And most of the time, when people be co-signing you on the negative things that you say, either it's about Mercedes or it's about New Japan or all AEW or whatever the case may be, the people that co-sign you are the people that don't even watch the damn product. Don't even know what's going on. They just, oh, this person hates it too. So let me chime in and like, oh, I like this. I like this. Yeah, that's trash. They never tell stories. Bitch, when the last time you watched the show? 2 years ago? So how the fuck you know they don't have stories? When the last time you watched it? Legit question. Legit question, man. But moving on, I got on my little rant there, but moving on. Lee Moriarty. Tiger style. Let's talk about this man. Like, I watched this man. He is part of Shane Taylor Promotions. And he is the current Ring of Honor Pure champion. Okay? And he had himself a clinic as well. And I don't want to mispronounce the performer's name that he actually beat. But I will say Tiger Style Lee Moriarty put a lot of people on notice. Between him, Athena, and Ring of Honor, him, Athena, and Bandido, they pretty much carried the Ring of Honor pay-per-view. Those was the top 3 matches on that show. Bar none. Straight up. Straight up and down on the reels. And Lee Moriarty, this man has been in the trenches. Okay? This man is got it out the mud. You understand? I remember when Tony Khan pulled out that contract and said, hey, Lee Moriarty, you signed up with AEW, that kind of thing. I like watch this man grow, and him with, Shane Taylor Promotions, and him with frat brother Sean Dean and company. You know what I'm saying? Just watching what this man do alone, like just as a pure wrestler, like this is wheelhouse, man. This is a future Ring of Honor World Champion, and he is a future TNT champion, among all else. And these here's the thing, man. I sometimes I look at Ring of Honor, I look at like the young talent that's there. I'm like, man, one day they're gonna get on this main roster and they're gonna kill it. They're gonna kill it. Lee Moriarty has been on the main roster. Like, he's part of the main roster, but his success is stemming from being the Ring of Honor Pure champion. And I do love Pure championship matches. And right now, Lee Moriarty is kicking it off on all cylinders, man. I mean, would it be most improved wrestler? I mean, it wasn't really much to improve, to be honest. Comeback wrestler of the year, can't even say that. But I mean, this man is very much accomplished. I mean, this man has talent beyond all recognition. And keep it a bean, Tony Khan, that's another one. You want to back up that truck for? That's another one. Do not let go. Do not let go. Don't let that man go. Lee Moriarty is definitely on top. He's definitely on the rise. A lot of people has been put on notice, man. To keep it a bean, though, I would have put him in the G1 Climax. Just saying. I would have put him in the G1 Climax, see what he can do out there. Let him do his thing out there, man. Let him do his thing out there. New Japan. Man. Lee Moriarty out there, man. This dude has all the tools. This dude has all the tools. Like just straight up has all the tools. But if you're not familiar with Lee Moriarty's game, you need to get accustomed to his game, man. You need to check him out. If you don't see him on AEW, guess what? You got him on Ring of Honor. You got him on Ring of Honor. And I will say this, like, shout out to Tony Khan, because there was some technical difficulties that was going on with Death Before Dishonor. I want to say with the Ring of Honor app. So what he did was he offered like discount money back and also offered Death Before Dishonor for free if you had issues with Ring of Honor, which I personally didn't have any issues because I do have the Ring of Honor app, so I can watch these pay-per-views any time. But honestly and truly, like, you was not going to miss that pay-per-view. So like, that's a shout out to Tony Khan and what he was able to do. Now, one thing I will tell you though, this new news that just popped up, And about an hour ago, it's been announced that, excuse me for a second, it's been announced that will AJ Lee return? And the answer is yes. The answer is yes. She is going to return. And I do have the information right here. And also, it has been stated. Now, while speaking to Wrestler Observer Live, Brian Alvarez, a F4 Wrestler Online, stated the following, quote, "We can confirm that it is a mixed tag, CM Punk and AJ Lee against Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, and it will be on WrestlePalooza." Now, they are loading this show up to try to destroy AEW All Out, and we will see if they can do it. Now, furthermore, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.com noted the following, to quote, "WWE sources have indicated that AJ Lee is set to return to the ring, as reiterated on Wrestler Observer Live. WWE sources also tell Fightful Select that most in the company consider it a foregone conclusion that she will be announced or be at this Friday's SmackDown." So, that is the news. That is the news. So, what do I think about AJ Lee's return to the ring? I think it's great. I think it is absolutely stupendous. The timing of it all, though. The timing of it all. Like, I'm a little bit conflicted by this. And I will say, excuse me, I will say, here's the reason why I'm conflicted. You only got 3 weeks to the show. And you're trying to put the show together. So the optics of it is saying, I mean, it's no secret. The minute that they announced WrestlePalooza, or the minute they announced that they was going to do a pay-per-view the same day, the same time as AEW All Out, even though AEW announced All Out months prior, you know, the minute they put it on the same date, same time, that this is on purpose. And then you hurried up and did a deal with ESPN. Now it's the first pay-per-view on ESPN. Now we're going to give it a whole new name. We're going to give it WrestlePalooza, which is not a new name, really. It's an ECW reference. You catch what I'm saying? Now we got to stack this card up. Because now you got Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre possibly. You have, which is almost a foregone conclusion, you have John Cena versus Brock Lesnar, which, like, we haven't seen that already. But the premiere, though, is CM Punk and AJ Lee. That is the premiere. Io Sky versus Stephanie Valkyrie. That is the other one. That's the other one. You catch me? So, while I'm conflicted by that, you got 3 weeks. This is like such a last minute thing, and I feel like it should have taken longer. Like, just build it up, man. Just keep building it and building and building. Like, you're doing it in 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people want AJ Lee. A lot of people want AJ Lee. When CM Punk was in AEW, a lot of people was asking, like, half jokingly was like, "Hey, can AJ Lee come play in AEW?" You know. But then, you know, things happened a few years ago. We, no need to rehash all that. He make his return to WWE. You already know they're going to capitalize that monetarily speaking. They're going to capitalize that on that the best of their ability. And when the time is right, yes, we're going to do this. And the perfect time to do it, according to them, is the first ESPN show, WrestlePalooza, and knowing full well it's going to compete with AEW All Out in Toronto. This is where I disagree. This shit got announced early. This shit got announced a few days after Clash in Paris. Like, it was already teased at the end of Clash in Paris when Becky Lynch interfered in the match and called CM Punk the World Heavyweight title. And also when she slapped CM Punk and he like, "Listen, I'm going to kick your husband's ass, but also you're going to learn another lesson. You shouldn't have put your hands on me." So at that point in time, it's almost like, tease, here's the present. You're going to get that bone on top possibly on Friday Night SmackDown because you got to build this match for the next 3 weeks. So what you should have did was not announce it. Because now you can say, "Hey, I got a mystery. I got a mystery partner. I got a partner. I'm gonna find a partner. And then you can have him not able to find a partner because everybody that he asked to be a part of it, Becky Lynch jumped from behind, or CM Punk jumped, not CM Punk, but Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch jumped from behind. So he's unable to actually get a partner. You can even have the point where Rhea Ripley is his partner until the point of the night of, and she was unable to attend, and boom, then you hit that music and AJ Lee's there. That's how you maximize on that, because it's like the surprise element. You catch what I'm saying? The surprise element. You unveil the curtain. And you can have the look on Punk's face like, oh, my God, my wife is coming. Oh, my God. He can sell that thing. He can sell that thing. But you showed your hand too early. Showed your hand too early. Because honestly and truly, WWE is like what Brian Alvarez was saying in the quote, like trying to destroy AEW or what All Out as a pay-per-view. And right now, the only thing we have right now is Christian and Cole solidified against FTR in Toronto. That's what we got right now. But considering the fact that you showed your hand early, now he can put this card together like he wants to. Now you got a special collision episode at 7, so you already got a head start on what's going on in Toronto. You're going to sell that bitch out. So that goes to the women's side. AJ Lee and CM Punk versus Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. And 9 times out of 10, this may be a one-off. Then it might go to like a one-on-one match, you know what I'm saying, at some point down the line. Depends on how much longer AJ Lee wants to be involved with WWE or whatever they got going on. You catch what I'm saying? You got technically 3 feuds going on with women. You got Mercedes Moné and Alex Windsor. You have Toni Storm and Athena. I'm pretty sure got an axe to grind with Athena still. Athena, have an axe to grind with Toni Storm. And then you got Tekla. You got Jamie Hayter. You got Queen Aminata. You got Willow. You got Sky Blue. Yeah. I'm seeing some blood and guts. I see some blood and guts. Cage match. Cage grudge match. Blood and guts. All women. The first ever blood and guts match at AEW All Out. 2 rings, 2 cages. Boom. Easy money. Easy money. That's what you do. Now, at some point or another, you can say Athena versus Mercedes, but don't go ahead and blow the stack right off hand. Don't do that. Don't do that. On top of all that, that is when you start debuting talent, too. That is when you start debuting other women, too. That's when you start debuting maybe Camille. That's when you might debut Shayna Baszler. Maybe she be part of the Death Riders or whatever the case may be. She get herself involved in all that. That's when you make guest appearances. And man, because their ace in the hole for WWE is AJ Lee. Why do I say that? Because, again, how many times we've seen Cena versus Brock Lesnar? Ain't no different. We just know that this is Cena's retirement tour. And honestly, in low key, he kind of revealed the list that he had, and AJ Styles is one of them. And we may not see AJ Styles versus John Cena ever again. So you got that, right? Drew McIntyre and Cody, big whoop, whatever. Drew McIntyre is cool in the game. One of the best talents out there. I ain't gonna hold you. But you're trying to compare this to AEW's show. AEW's All Out show is going to already outlast WrestlePalooza. They're not going to be there until midnight. They ain't doing that shit. All Out is already going to outlast that pay-per-view. But you already showed your hand first. Why would you do that? Now TK can just, shit, I already know what I'm going to do. I already know how I'm going to book this show. I already know who I'm going to bring. I already know what I'm going to do. And I'm going to tell you right now, a blood and guts, all women blood and guts match at All Out with the women's. Whew, man. Never been done. Never been done. Gotta love that competition, though. Gotta love that competition. Because imagine, their whole goal is to destroy what AEW All Out is doing. And they can't do it. Now, you know how how much that's going to stick into the craw of the executives out there? Because they're doing this deliberately. So far, they haven't won this battle. So far, they haven't done this because they like AEW has been a step ahead of the game. With All In, you had it in the afternoon, not in the evening. You know, you had the rest of your day to do what you need to do. Also, you could say, you know, and to be honest with you, AEW is courteous because it's already slated for, 7 p.m., 8 p.m., or whatever the case would be. They can literally move it to the afternoon if they really want to. But why would you? Nah, we already slotted here. We ain't gonna move because you gonna say we scared because ain't nobody scared. And one of the wrestling podcasters I follow, Lyric Wrestling, shout out to Lyric Wrestling. She says nostalgia is a hell of a drug. It damn sure is. It damn sure is. Damn sure is. And that's what they're banking on. They're banking because people have been asking, begging for HLE. And they think that's going to just take everybody that's just a fan of AEW and just shoot right over to ESPN to watch the match. Because you know what's going to end up happening, though? They're probably going to, if anything, they're probably going to tune into that match, and the minute that bitch is over, go shoot right back over to All Out. That's exactly what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. And honestly and truly, now EO Sky and Stephanie Valkyrie, now that shit is going to rock. That's going to rock the house. That's going to rock the house. The women are carrying WrestlePalooza. And just as sure as the women are carrying WrestlePalooza, the women should be carrying All Out. That blood and guts match at All Out, that kill it. That kill it. All day. That kill it. And nothing to it. And I know, like, bet. Now that I know, now that the news is out there, that I know, if I'm Tony Khan, I'm like, oh, okay. I know how to book this shit. Don't even worry about it. Too easy. Or you say, starting at AEW All Out, I am beginning the AEW Women's Tag Team Title Tournament. Then you reveal those titles, the white straps with the gold. Man. Then you announce the tag teams that's there because most of the women are back from injury. They're just most of the women are back. Most of the women are back. You announce the tag team tournament. You do that, or you do both them bitches. You do Mercedes Moné versus Alex Windsor rematch. And then if Mercedes Moné beat Alex Windsor, you debut Camille again, or you debut somebody that we haven't seen in a hot little minute, and they're gonna stare down Mercedes Moné. And then at that point, you got a moment. You do Tony Storm and Athena once again. Even then, you could debut somebody at that point. Blood and Guts women's match. Then you announce that women's tag team title tournament and when that thing supposed to start. You can kill that. You can kill that noise easy. You can end that noise easy. I don't think WWE is familiar with AEW's game like that. I don't think so. Because you had the formula. You had the formula with NXT Black and Gold. But considering the fact that they were losing in the ratings just a little bit, you pulled the plug way too early. That was honestly legit competition. That was legit competition. Because NXT Black and Gold, by all intents and purposes, was better than the main roster shows. It really was. During the Vince McMahon era. We'll say that. Man. Woo! It's something we said out here. You think you tough. And I'm pretty sure Tony Khan is saying that. You think you tough. And it might sound like I'm biased here, but listen. Competition makes products better. And there's no bones about that. So if there's a remnant of success that WWE has, they're going to continue to counter book AEW. They're going to continue to do this to the point where they're trying to take every nook and cranny away from the other company. But they're not going to do that. Not the way you think. Because so far, AEW has ignored all these advances. They have, they might have been, Tony has been asked the question, like, no, we're going to continue to do what we do, or whatever the case may be. Yada, yada, yada. Now, if TK responds in kind of what he's going to have in this match, then you're going to have these these podcasters out here that's real negative is like, oh, well, he said he don't pay attention to what they're doing. So why he doing that in the third? Bitch, this is competition. You created this shit. You put your show on my time slot, which I announced months ago. So goddamn it, this is what I'm gonna do. This is how I'm gonna book this shit. And if you lose, so the fuck what? You get the best wrestling out of there. Now, you answer the question, Ham, Earth Smack, what are you going to watch? I'm watching AEW All Out. I watch WrestlePalooza whenever. I watch it whenever. Don't see counter booking ain't gonna phase me because I made a transition. I made a transition. There's like on this show, I said I'm gonna cover more AEW content, more New Japan Pro Wrestling content, and stuff like that. But yeah, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. It's too easy. It's too easy. Too easy. But yo, that is our show for today. Man, shout out to the infamous Alvin Staley out there. We will be back next week, man. Shout out to all the positive podcast. Shout out to the fans of women's wrestling out there. Shout out to the people that love wrestlers of color and don't really worry about all the extra stuff. Don't be negative Nancy or whatever the case may be, man. We should enjoy wrestling. That's just what it is. Competition is okay. All out is going to be very successful. Get yourself to the thing. So, until next time, y'all.